Thank you for joining us. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika is calling upon all Malawians from all walks of faith to join hands in praying that the country should continue receiving good rains for a bumper harvest and further pray for an end to the prolonged dry spells which are being experienced in some parts of the country. Professor Mutharika quotes a holy scripture of 2 Chronicles 2 to provide you with wealth and children, and will provide you with gardens and rivers. The Malawi leader is therefore asking faith leaders to lead these special prayers on any day of their choice from Friday 16th February 2026 to Sunday 8th February 2026. Meanwhile, Deputy Presidential Advisor on Religious Affairs, Reverend Alexander Kambiri, has urged faith leaders to take action by leading their congregations in prayers and as called by President Mutharika. Reverend Kambiri says faith leaders have the responsibility to take action on matters of national interest as outlined in the scriptures. From Lilongwe, Patrick Dambula reports.
President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika's call comes after a dry spell which has affected close to 20 districts in the country, thereby threatening crop production. Commenting on the president's call, Deputy Presidential Advisor on Religious Affairs, Reverend Alexander Kambiri, has appealed to faith leaders to act on the call by the president by leading their congregations in prayers. Reverend Kambiri says the problem at hand affects all Malawians, hence the need to join hands in prayers.
It's not a matter of just hearing what the president has said, but taking action to do something according to what the president has asked us to do. Because normally when we can just hear and remain quiet, nothing can happen. But it's our responsibility as church leaders to encourage our members to pray for this as the president has asked us to do so.
Also commenting on the matter, Apostle Mike Chisale of Remnant Church of Jesus thanked God for instilling wisdom in the president to ask for prayers, saying, 4 times without count, God has answered the nation's prayers on different issues. Hence, the same will happen this time around.
My reactions, number one, is to thank God, because it came from him that he put his words into the heart of our president. We really appreciate the initiative we have received from the president. And again, I would like to encourage believers wherever they are. We can pray and God will answer, because we have prayed many times and we have seen tangible results.
In his call, President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika urged the nation to engage in prayers this coming Friday, Saturday and Sunday, which are the days of worship for almost all religions. Patrick Dambula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
In a related development, at least 14,000 farming households have been affected by prolonged dry spell in Mangochi, leaving small-scale farmers in a desperate situation. In an interview with MBC, Director of Agriculture and Natural Resources for Mangochi District Council, Nditani Maluwa, said the most affected areas are in traditional authorities Nankumba and Jowe, with an estimate of 37,000 total planted crops damaged. Maluwa said the assessment is still underway, but currently the loss in the district is at 34,000 metric tons. Sotini Ndazi has compiled this report, read by Dave Umar.
In an interview with MBC, Director of Agriculture and Natural Resources for Mangochi District Council, Nditani Maluwa, confirmed that the worst hit areas are within traditional authorities Nankumba and Jowe. He estimates that approximately 37,000 hectares of crops have been damaged due to the drought. Maluwa also mentioned that assessments are still ongoing, but current figures indicate that the district has lost around 34,000 metric tons of produce so far.
Affected hectares come up to around 34,000, but the most affected hectares that have even reached the point of semi-wilting, they're about 17,000. So if you look at the hectarage that is affected and compared to the production that we record per year, an average of 2.4 metric tons, we expect that around maybe 34 metric tons will be lost this year. So that implies that it is going to create a huge gap in terms of food security. the households that we serve.
One of the farmers in Nankumba Agriculture Extension Planning Area, EPA, Christina Kalukusha, lost her maize field after experiencing prolonged dry spell in January 2026. Reacting to the development, District Commissioner for Mangochi, Rodine Simwaka, expressed concern and appealed for support to the small-scale farmers affected with relief items as the district considers to provide sustainable mechanism of winter cropping. The development follows a weather forecast for 2025-2026 seasonal rainfall released by the Department of Climate Change and Meteorological Services last year, which indicated that some districts in the country, including Mangochi, would be affected by dry spell. So far, crops such as maize, soybean, rice and groundnut have been destroyed completely.
President of Malawi, Professor Arthur Mutharika, is among 5 Malawians who have been nominated for the iconic Africa Honors 2026 Awards, which will be presented on 13 February 2026 in Harare, Zimbabwe. According to the organizers, President Mutharika will be honored for outstanding leadership and political acumen by becoming the first politician in the Southern African Development Community SADC region to win elections twice from the opposition. A Facebook post from the Malawi government shows that others who have made the list from Malawi are the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Ben Piri, Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, MACRA, Acting Director General Maya Nkoloma, MHub founder Rachel Suande, as well as irrigation expert and founder of Foundation for Irrigation and Sustainable Development, FISID, Frank Mwenechanya. Piri has also been honored to participate as a distinguished speaker through a key address aligned with 4 thematic areas, namely local government reform and decentralized development, and rural development and community empowerment, among others. It says Natasha Patience Mkube is the visionary founder behind the Icons of Africa Awards, built to spotlight the people moving the continent forward, not just the most visible names. The event will be convened under the theme, The Africa We Want, Sustainable Development, Everyone's Responsibility. The Ministry of Health and Sanitation says the country has made significant strides in the fight against cancer amidst the challenges facing the sector. Deputy Health Minister Charles Chilambula says currently the Cancer Center and other private institutions are able to offer surgeries, chemotherapy, as well as radiotherapy, among other services. He was speaking in Lilongwe at a media briefing to join the rest of the world in commemorating this year's World Cancer Day, which falls on 4th February. He spoke to Margaret Mapando.
We need to be going for screening, because if it's detected at an early stage, we can be able to cure it than going when someone has started experiencing the signs of this cervical cancer, because that's one of the cancers which is affecting us a lot. So we need to let the public to know that let's go to the hospital from the age 18 going upwards. Go and be screened. So when it shows that you have some signs of having cervical cancer, or you can be treated and you can survive it. So these are the main messages that we are providing to the community. Say let's prevent and let's also go for screening. It's not only cervical cancer, even breast cancer. If our women could be going for screening, which is something which can be provided in almost all corners of the health facilities we have in Malawi. So let them go for screening, even the prostate cancer and other cancers that are affecting us. Key thing is the screening, and we detect it at an early stage.
And World Health Organization representative in Malawi, Charles Kuria Njuguna, expressed the organization's commitment of supporting Malawi reduce the burden of cancer and ensuring equitable access to prevention, early diagnosis, treatment, and dignified care for all.
We have a role to stand with the ministry, ensure that we mobilize other partners to be able to invest in key government priorities. The Ministry of Health has a Health Sector Plan 3, which highlights the priorities of this country. And therefore, the role of WHO is to ensure that apart from what we have that we can support the government with, but also ensuring we rally other partners and be able to guide them on priorities that they need to invest in. And cancer is one of the key priorities in this country that we need to ensure we are able to support.
In a related development, low awareness regarding prostate cancer has emerged as one of the factors fueling the rise in cases of the condition in the country. The development is said to be limiting men's access to treatment options while decreasing their survival rate. As Madalito Muhango reports, the Ministry of Health is moving towards enhancing awareness interventions to change the narrative.
According to the World Health Organization, WHO, prostate cancer is the fourth most common type of cancer worldwide affecting men. This is largely due to late diagnosis and lack of screening. Executive Director of Cancer Survivors Quest, Chikulubilo Ngombe, attributes the rise in prostate cancer cases in the country to low awareness about the disease. Ngombe emphasized the need for enhanced awareness of prostate cancer, just like any other type of cancer, to help in the fight against the disease.
There is little or no awareness about prostate cancer. So that's where the first gap comes in. Secondly, you find that in terms of screening, you'll notice how every health center is able to screen women for various cancers, but nothing for men.
Chief Consultant Urologist at Gamuzu Central Hospital, Dr. Charles Mabedi, says the facility receives 15 to 20 cases on a weekly basis, and most of these patients come to seek medical attention when the cancer is at an advanced stage.
We've been able to set up a very good training program for specialist urologists, but there's still big gaps that we need to fill as a country. We've got challenges with some medical supplies, disposables, and also imaging machines to understand how far or the spread of the disease. But despite all these challenges, I think there's a lot of effort to try to improve the status of care that we provide to patients with prostate cancer.
Spokesperson in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Adrian Chugumbe, said the ministry is implementing several initiatives aimed at addressing barriers that prevent men from seeking medical attention.
Cancer generally is one condition that is easy to prevent if only we know the risk factors. So we are preparing and disseminating messages on what puts people to be at risk of prostate cancer. And in the process, it means we're going to have fewer cases of prostate cancer. It means with the few medicines that we'll have, with the few patients that we may also have of prostate cancer, we'll have enough medicines.
Statistics from the Ministry of Health indicates that in 2024, central hospitals in the country treated 847 prostate cancer outpatients and 73 inpatients, while in 2025, the country recorded 671 prostate cancer outpatients and 58 inpatients. Meanwhile, the country has trained only 6 urologists to assist cancer patients. Madalito Muhango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
This is MBC News, a reminder of the top stories. President Mutharika calls on faith leaders to pray for good rains and an end to the prolonged dry spell. Malawi makes progress in cancer fight amidst ongoing challenges. And all is set for the 2025 TNM Super League Awards Gala this evening in Blantyre. Now, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Bright Msaka, has called for prudent utilization of financial resources by education officials and stakeholders if Malawi is to achieve its aspirations in the sector. Msaka made the call during the opening of the Education Joint Sector Review in Lilongwe. We have this report by Isaac Jali.
Opening the Education Joint Sector Review in Lilongwe, Minister of Education Bright Nsaga said Malawi has made strides in improving access, inclusivity and the quality of education. He cited the recent introduction of free secondary education and increased university intake as just some of the milestones that stand out. Msaka, however, warned that there is no time to relax, saying low performance outcomes in some schools, shortage of teaching and learning materials are just some of the shortcomings that require attention. He disclosed that to ensure quality, the Minister of Education wants all primary school teachers to hold diploma or degrees.
There are quite a number of achievements we have made. We have, as you know, increased on access, built more secondary schools, built more classroom blocks, and also increased access to universities. That has happened, but yet we are yet to achieve our goal, and we will continue doing this. And the introduction of free secondary education by His Excellency Professor Athapita Mutharika this term is part of the increase in access. Teacher-people ratio is high, but if you see from the report, it is improving. You can improve that better by the engagement of more teachers, and we intend to engage more teachers at all levels. Equally importantly is we are intending to increase and improve on the quality of the teacher. Moving forward, we think that the primary school teacher must have at the very minimum a diploma, a degree where necessary.
For her part, an education expert from Nigeria, Obiageli Ezekwesili, commended Malawi for strides it is making in education and said more investment and emphasis should be put in improving performance of learners at junior primary, saying that's the future of Malawi's development. She went on to call for prudence in the use of financial resources in the wake of shrinking donor support to ensure resources should bring measurable results.
For Malawi to just as a country prioritize learning outcomes of the children, because research has shown that being in school is not equal to learning. 20% only of the children who you see in the classrooms in grades 1, 2, and 3 are learning, meaning that they are able to read with understanding and they're able to do basic math in those grades. So that by the age of 10, what we normally say is that a child has gained literacy and numeracy.
The theme for the Joint Sector Review is achieving education sector results through reforms. Isaac Jali, MBC, Lilongwe.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development has emphasized the need for afforestation in the country to promote tobacco production, a key contributor to Malawi's economy. Minister responsible, Rosa Fachi Mbilizi, made the remarks at Nankokota Primary School in Nchewu during the launch of the 2025-2026 tree planting initiative for the tobacco industry. Olive Piri reports.
To promote sustainable tobacco production, which heavily depends on trees, the Tobacco Commission and other stakeholders in the tobacco industry have launched the 2025-2026 Tobacco Industry Afforestation Initiative. Through the initiative, the industry plans to plant 43,000 trees in all tobacco growing areas on 20 hectares of land. Speaking during the launch in Nchewu District, Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Fachi Mbilizi, commended stakeholders in the tobacco industry for their commitment to protecting trees and forests. Mbilizi urged the tobacco companies not to limit themselves to planting only 20 hectares, but to continue increasing the number of hectares planted with trees every year in order to sustain tobacco production, while also restoring the environment in the country. She also asked tobacco companies to work closely with communities and local authorities to mobilize their people to participate in the initiative.
The tobacco industry uses a lot of wood or trees for that matter in their processing of tobacco. So it's very important that they had this function, which they will undertake in all regions of this country.
Vice Board Chairperson of the Tobacco Commission, Commissioner Ebi Matanda, said trees are crucial in tobacco farming. Matanda stated that if stakeholders in the industry do not plant more trees, there will be no future income from tobacco.
We rely upon tobacco, which brings in more forex in the country. So as a commission, we make sure there are several ways that we do to make sure that this is sustainable.
In his remarks, Nkosiama Kosiguman Maseko 5 urged people to join hands in planting more trees to avoid effects of deforestation in future. He also called on various authorities to ensure that policies being implemented in order to protect trees are fully enforced. Among the tree species that the tobacco industry is planting in its 2025-2026 tree planting initiative include blue gum, pine, mbawa, ntangatanga, and fruit trees such as mangoes, oranges, and guavas. Olive Pidi, MBC News, Ncheu.
A call has gone out to school administrators to help strengthen environmental clubs and closely monitor tree planting activities to ensure sustainability. The sentiments were made by representatives of Chiradzulu District Education Office while appreciating how most schools are faring in combating climate change. More in this report by Ruthi Chinangwa and Alfisha Fisher.
There is an adage that says, train a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. This is the principle guiding efforts to instill a culture of environmental conservation among learners.
The climate is changing. We plant trees. When we plant trees, trees may protect us and may protect topsoil, and we use the trees by making desks and other things.
Despite the current trend of heavy rains and some dry spells, we are hopeful that our future can be good if we continue planting some trees. As young people, we are ready to be engaging in tree planting exercises so that our future can be good.
As young ones, we believe we are the future leaders, and therefore we have a responsibility to ensure that the future generations should be able to fight against climate change.
However, Gabriel Mbeta, a senior official from the Chiradzulu District Education Office, has observed gaps when it comes to ensuring that learners take ownership of tree care, a scenario that pales in comparison with the practice of yesteryears when planted trees were well maintained. He added that strengthening environmental clubs and integrating tree care into school activities will promote environmental conservation while instilling responsibility and a sense of ownership among learners.
It's very important to promote this behavior, this exercise of tree planting, because it goes a long way of helping the school environment, making the school environment very productive. Productive in the sense that availability of these woodlots will help to reduce will act as a windbreak, like windstorm, heavy windstorm coming to the direction of the school. If we have these trees, these woodlots around the school, then it means that will reduce the strength of that windstorm.
The survival rate of the tree seedlings in most parts of the country leaves a lot to be desired. For example, during the 2024-2025 tree planting season, over 50 million trees were planted, but only 60% have survived. One can only hope that by the end of the current tree planting season, things will take a turn for the better in as far as caring for the environment and ensuring a better survival rate for the trees is concerned. Ruth Chinangwa, MBC News, Blantyre.
In sport, all is set for the 2025 TNM Super League Awards Gala this evening in Blantyre. The awards ceremony is expected to officially bring down the curtain on TNM's 19-year partnership with the country's flagship league, following the recent unveiling of FDH Bank as the new sponsor of the Super League of Malawi Sulum. Praise Majawa reports.
The gala will celebrate outstanding performances from the just-ended season with accolades including Player of the Season, Golden Boot, Defender of the Season, Midfielder of the Season, Golden Glove, Coach of the Season, and Media Awards. The Golden Boot Award will be shared between Chikumbuto Salima and Babatonda Depojo, who both netted 15 goals during the campaign. Salima further strengthened his case by contributing 11 assists and is also among the leading contenders for Player of the Season. Mighty Wanderers shortstopper Dalitso Kungwa is set to claim the Golden Glove Award after keeping an impressive 17 clean sheets. On the technical bench, Wanderers coach Bob Mpinganjira is a strong favorite for the Coach of the Season after guiding the Nomads to their first league title in 8 years. With emotions, memories and milestones all wrapped into one night, the stage is set for a historic send-off under TNM sponsorship as Malawian football prepares to turn a new page. Praise Majawa, MBC Sport Blantyre.
And that item concludes this edition of News here on MBC. A recap of our top stories before we leave. President Mutharika calls on faith leaders to pray for good rains and an end to the prolonged dry spell. Malawi makes progress in cancer fight amidst ongoing challenges. And all is set for the 2025 TNM Super League Awards Gala this evening in Blantyre. Keep up to date with our news coverage on our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Sifatim Susa. Keep watching MBC.